This is my journey to find the perfect pants. So here's my hypothesis. I believe that the perfect pants don't exist. I think that we are all out on this quest to find the absolute perfect pair of pants, and fashion companies are just going like that commercial with the dollar bill. You almost got it. You almost got it.
Oh, you almost had it.
Almost have perfect pants, but I firmly believe the perfect pant does not exist. And I get it, because everybody's perfect pant is different. For me, the perfect pair of pants has to be a combination of fit and fabric and rise and length and pockets. And I think I would have to go to every store in the known universe to find exactly what I'm looking for. My perfect pair of pants have to hit at my shoes at just the right length. And they have to sit on my waist, but not inside that stomach fold that happens when I hunch over like I always do. I want my pants to be made out of a natural fiber, but it has to be something that is durable and that I can wash regularly. So wool pants, love them, does not fit the bill. I also need my pants to be somewhat utilitarian. I need the pockets to be big enough to hold my phone securely, along with snacks and pens and all the other junk that I carry around like a kangaroo. Do kangaroos carry a lot of junk? I need my pants to have belt loops because I like wearing belts. I want all of this in a fair price. I'm fine with paying up for something if it's exactly what I want, but I don't think exactly what I want actually exists. So I'm starting the perfect pant experiment because I am bound and determined to figure out what the perfect pair of pants are for me. I put out a poll just to see where everybody else was as far as their perfect pants and what you consider to be the number one thing you're looking for. And surprisingly, it's not pockets. I was a little surprised by that. I think what was most surprising to me was that the vast majority of you consider the rise to be the number one priority when picking your pants. In a distant second and third was the fabric and the shape. So whether you like skinny jeans or relaxed or boyfriend. At the bottom of this was pockets. So I know I'm not the only one that is looking for this perfect pair of pants. This will probably be the first part in a series of discovering the perfect pair of pants, but I am on a mission to either find or make my perfect pants. Now, a big disclaimer here. My perfect is not going to be everybody's perfect. We are all shaped differently and we all have different priorities, and our pants all serve kind of a different purpose for all of us. Other than making sure we don't look like Winnie the Pooh, our pants all play a different role in what we do every day. But this is my journey to find the perfect pants. So I talked about my expectations, but what about my checklist? What is it that I'm actually looking for? In order of importance, I need a pair of pants that sits at the right spot on my waist. There is too high, there is way too low, and there is some gray area in the middle. I'm not sure I could point to it specifically, but I know it when I find it. I also need it to have belt loops and no elastic in the waistband because I carry a phone. I sometimes have to carry keys. I have to carry a walkie-talkie. I don't want my pants falling down. It's very important to me. I need generous pockets, both front pockets and back pockets. And I guess if I'm trying not to look too lumpy, this means that the shape has to be right. I don't want skinny pants. I think they are so flattering on everybody, but they are not practical for my life. I think what I'm actually looking for is a straight leg, something that fits in the waist and just grazes over the hips and then falls. A little bit of swooshy, but not super swooshy, like my Winslow culottes, somewhere in the middle. I also want my pants to be the majority natural fiber. Cotton is probably the best. I love linen, but it does wrinkle. Wool is hard to wash on a regular basis, and silk pants are not even a consideration at this point. Scrolling through Pinterest and looking at Instagram, I've run across a bunch of different types of pants, and this is kind of the style that I keep gravitating towards. And it's exactly what I talked about. It fits at the waist, grazes over the hips, and just falls straight. What I'm finding though is that most of them have pleats at the front. So that might be something that I'm looking for in my perfect pants. Also with these, the models are never shaped like me, never. While I think this is gonna be the perfect setup for me, I might get it on if I can find it, and it will not look right at all because my shape is different. So there's gonna be a couple of pieces in this experiment that I wanna go through. This first stage, I'm calling the research stage. The very first thing we are going to do today is we are going to go to Goodwill and we are just going to try on pants and see what we find. I could go to Target, I could go to a big box store, or maybe a more fashionable boutique type place. But the nice thing about going to a thrift store is that I can try on many different styles of pants, many different brands. I can try on men's and women's pants all in one place. I know that many of them have been washed and they may have shrunk or they may have been stretched out. I recognize all that, but it gives me kind of a big picture look at what is out there. I also may be able to find some more vintagey style pants and maybe that will work better for me. I'm done talking. Let's drive our butts over to Goodwill and let's try on some pants. And we will rate them, we'll take notes, we'll see how this goes. I will see you at Goodwill. As if to distract me from my mission, Goodwill rolled out this big cart of upholstery fabric remnants that immediately distracted me from everything that I was trying to do. I have bought a bunch of these in the past and they are like a cool little mystery box that you never really know what you're gonna get. But I was good, I walked away, did not come home with any new fabric. This time. Also, I am still really self-conscious about filming in public, and this store was absolutely packed. So I don't feel like I went through the racks as thoroughly as perhaps I would have if I wasn't worried about filming. So I will probably go back and maybe do some shopping on my own just to see if I find anything else that I may have missed the first time. These are the pants I wore in, and they are just a cotton pair of chinos from Eddie Bauer, and I really like them, but they're not perfect. And I think I can do better. This first pair really weren't that bad, but there was just something about the way that they draped that didn't seem right. I think the big thing with this one is the fabric choice. The pockets were good, and I think with a phone in there, you wouldn't really be able to notice it. Also, I may want these to be a little bit higher waisted. But otherwise, these were okay. I also think they were polyester. Next up were these plaid pants from Sag Harbor. They were a polyester rayon mix. Overall, they were okay. I liked where they fell, and the pockets were pretty generous, but they just didn't float the way I wanted them to. Seeing these back, I wish they were a little bit higher, and I almost wish they had pleats. Next up are these chinos by Gloria Vanderbilt. This is a solid no. Too tight, too stretchy. Solid no. And oh, those pockets. Sad, sad little pockets. Next up are these wool pants by Rafaela. These are okay, but I don't like the teeny little waistband, and when I say things fall in that fold in my belly, that's what I mean. That weird little, like, Zoidberg fold in my stomach. The pockets weren't terrible, but I think I want a wider waistband, and I definitely think I want a wider leg. Can you tell these are going to be a hit? They were not. These are terrible. These are also by Shein, so who's surprised? Nobody. The little chain was something. These are awful. I'm not that big, but boy, they make me look big. And it might be the wrong size, but also the fabric choice on these, awful. Terrible. No. I'll acknowledge with these that they are probably too small, but my perfect pair of pants I don't think is a pair of chinos. These are by Chico's. They are
clearly too small, but also the pockets are tiny. It's poorly designed. I don't like it below my belly button like that. And the legs were so tight. Again, I don't know why I picked up so many pairs of chinos, but these were by LL Bean. They weren't bad. I actually almost got them because they're navy and I don't have navy pants. But they're just not perfect. And I think I know now, my perfect pants are not chinos. I did decide to go back out later and try to find pants more like what I was thinking. And I found a couple of pairs that were wider leg and probably more the size that I need. However, as I'm watching this, I really do think that a higher rise and maybe a couple pleats is the direction I'm looking.
So we're gonna wrap up part 1 of the perfect pants experiment here. I am so glad that I went out and I tried on so many pairs of pants. As somebody who has worn pants her whole life and tried on even more pairs, I'm actually a little surprised at the direction that I ended up looking after trying on so many different pairs. In part 2, we're gonna go through the sample making process. We're going to actually sit down and try to make a couple pairs of pants. And that's right, I said a couple because I imagine that the first one isn't going to be exactly right. It's a journey, folks. This is all gonna be a journey. Don't forget to subscribe so that you know when part 2 comes out, and I am very excited to share it with you. Give this video a like, and I will see you next time. Bye! Nope. What is it even called? Did somebody pee in here?